Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Acrosil Limited Q4 and FY21 earnings conference call. This conference call may contain forward-looking statements about the company, which are based on the beliefs, opinions, and expectations of the company as on date of this call. These statements are not guarantees of future performance and involve risks and uncertainties that are difficult to predict. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Chirag Parekh, Chairman and Managing Director of Acrosil Limited. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Parekh.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to the FY21 earnings call of Acrosil Limited. Along with me on this call, I have Mr. Anand Sharma, CFO, and our SGA, Investor Relations Advisor. I hope everyone got an opportunity to go through our financial results and investor presentation, which has been uploaded on the stock exchange as well as on our company's website. I hope that all of you and your loved ones are safe. These are really difficult times, and perhaps the most important thing for all of us is to ensure that you are safe and so is your family. It has been a challenging year for the first quarter of financial year 2021, being marred by COVID-related lockdown restrictions. Despite the challenges posed, we have able to achieve growth on all fronts and have therefore achieved our short-term guidance of rupees 300 crores revenue. Also, the Board of Directors recommended a final dividend of rupees 1.2 per equity share in addition to the interim dividend of 0.80 rupees per equity share declared in February 2021. During the FY21, the company received approval of listing of equity share of the company on National Stock Exchange. The equity share of the company was listed, admitted to dealing of National Stock Exchange with effect from January 14, 2021. The country is currently facing a second wave of COVID-19 infections. The new strain of COVID virus infecting certain key states across the country. We are seeing more localized lockdowns, micro lockdown, and restrictions imposed other than a nationwide lockdown compared to last year. Despite this scenario, we are able to run our manufacturing operations are largely running smoothly while following all the health and safety protocols. Our priority is the safety of our employees, and the company is leaving no stone unturned to ensure this. Coming to the company's performance, our company in FY21 has marked by robust total income growth of 13% YOY. A sustained thrust on growing our top line while keeping check on costs resulted in strong EBITDA margins on 22.7%. Quartz kitchen continues to be dominant product category. Export revenue grew by 20%, rupees 244.7 crores for FY21. Domestic revenue were impacted due to nationwide lockdown in the start of the year due to lockdown restrictions. However, post relaxation of lockdown measures, domestic revenues witnessed a significant pickup and stood at 65 crores for FY21. We witnessed spurt in demand from international markets during the year, whereas domestic demand picked up post July 2021. We expect the sales momentum to sustain going forward. We have witnessed change in the spending pattern in terms of the discretionary income spent towards home renovation and decor, the limitation on travel and leisure spends. We have sufficient export order booking. Also, we have sufficient stock of raw material to meet production requirements. We have not observed any major supply chain issues during these unprecedented times. Coming to our capacity expansion, I am pleased to inform our company has successfully completed the expansion of 100,000 units of quartz kitchens announced in August 2020 within a very short span of time. The commercial production from this additional capacity commenced from the end of February 2021. The manufacturing capacity of the quartz kitchen has increased from 5 lakh to 6 lakh units per annum. This was due to the commitment of our employees and their preparedness to work under difficult situations. We had recently announced additional capacity expansion of quartz kitchen sink by another 100,000 units. This is progressing well, and the project is expected to be commissioned by June 2021. Date to be confirmed. This should be approximately, I think, we feel that we should be able to complete because we had a little bit of a storm in our state, and then Nabana was a little affected. So this has been a little bit postponed to July, the next 100,000 capacity. Post the expansion, our manufacturing capacity will stand at 7 lakhs units per annum. Let me update you on our strategic partnership with IKEA. We entered into a strategic partnership with IKEA Supply AG Switzerland in August 2020 for manufacturing supply of composite quartz kitchen sinks to their global requirement. IKEA has an expertise in distribution and supply of home improvement products. Our company commenced the dispatch of the quartz kitchen of IKEA in March 2021. This will enable IKEA to offer its customers the best of its class quartz kitchen sink manufactured by Acrosil. Innovation is the core of the company. Company possesses the ability to think new and maximize the opportunity. With our technical proficiency within the current product line, we constantly launch new variants to meet the customer's expectations. Our company is focused on creativity and in-depth research in every step of the way. During the year, we have introduced new products with antibacterial sinks and many other variants in the kitchen appliance segment. At Acrosil, we aim towards worldwide expansion of the company to touch more lives, increase our value proposition. We are also working toward increasing our global footprint, developing a strong network to capitalize on opportunities. We have taken steps to expand American and European markets and grow across the globe as a valuable, trustworthy brand. Our company is focused to build brand and distribution channels across India. Our products have global appeal and have impressed both influencers and consumers all across the world. We also have a special announcement here that the company has tied up with Grohe, the leading German sanitary brand, for supply of stainless steel kitchen sinks. We also have news. Since I'm in America, we have our distributor is able to tie up with Menards, which is a $10 billion retail chain with 850 stores. We are tied up for distributing our all Acrosil granite sinks in all the Menards stores across the United States. Our company has been paying special focus on asserting brand dominance, which is highlighted in our global partnership with reputed retailers for home improvement products. Our company has always embraced challenges that come out of the top of the back of its grit and determination. Having established ourselves as a long-term player in the industry, we are headed towards a future of a consistent success and increased valuation. Now I would like to hand over the line to Mr. Anand Sharma, our CFO, to update you on the financial performance of the company. Mr. Anand Sharma.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Let me take you through the financial performance of the company. Quarter 4 FY21 performance. The consolidated total income, including foreign exchange gain, stood at 104.3 crore for Quarter 4 FY21 as compared to 65.8 crore in Quarter 4 FY20, recording a growth of 59%. EBITDA of the company stood at 24 crore as compared to 11.1 crore in Quarter 4 FY20, recording a growth of 117%. EBITDA margin for Quarter 4 FY21 stood at 23% as compared to 16.8% in Quarter 4 FY20, recording an improvement of 620 basis points. Profit after tax and minority interest stood at 13 crore in Quarter 4 FY21 as compared to 3.9 crore in Quarter 4 FY20, recording a growth of 235%. Coming to FY21 performance, the consolidated total income including foreign exchange gain stood at 315.5 crore for FY21 as compared to 280.3 crore in FY20, recording a growth of 13% year on year. We have achieved EBITDA of rupees 71.6 crore for FY21 as against 50.5 crore of FY20, a growth of 42%. The EBITDA margin increased to 22.7% from 18%, an overall improvement of 470 basis points. Profit after tax and minority interest for FY21 stood at 39.1 crore as compared to 22.1 crore of FY20, recording a growth of 77%. Our net debt to equity stand at 0.52 times as of 31st March 2021. Our return on capital employed stands at 20.7% as on 31st March 2021. Our return on equity stands at 20.2% as of 31st March 2021. Now we will open the call for the questions. Over to operator.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. And one on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use the handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 at this time. The first question is from the line of Pritesh Chheda from Lucky Investments. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity and congratulations on a good set of numbers, and wish that everything is safe and sound. Sir, in the quarter 4, in the other expenses line, is there something to highlight? Because the QOQ margin looks a little bit different.
Sir, can I reply?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, Pritesh bhai, this quarter 4, the increase in other expenses is pro rata to the production and sale, except export freight, which is increased by 45% quarter on quarter. So there is a significant increase in the cost of freight, which we are passing on to the customer, and we expect that it will stabilize in this quarter.
Okay. My second question is, we have a medium-term target of about 500 crores, and we have exited the number at about 100 crore, and we are constrained by capacity, which we are adding up, which also signify that there is a fair amount of demand in the system. So this 500 crore medium-term target, in your opinion, is how far into the future now? Is it a year or a couple of years or more than that?
No, so Pritesh, I think what you have rightly said, that I think this is the first benchmark which we achieved on the quarter 4, that we achieved 100 crore sales, which if you take annual rate is already 400 crores, in the same moment. Plus we are already seeing some tie-ups which we are making. We are also seeing some continuing pent-up demand coming up. So we definitely feel that our goal of achieving 500 crores would be, which was earlier, would probably we were thinking about 4 to 5 years, which will be now probably certain for sure. So even if you take annual rate of 400 crores, plus we'll have some stainless steel sinks and built-in appliances. So I think the company is planning to achieve this target as soon as possible.
Is it probable that the 500 crore revenue can be achieved in FY22 itself, considering that you are adding 20% capacity in more than 20% capacity in sinks itself? So is there a high probability that you can achieve 500 crores in 22 itself?
So I think at this point of time, we are really focusing on expanding the capacity we are up to 700,000 sinks, and which will be probably taken quarter 2. So, we won't have all revenues coming in we won't get the benefit of the full year. But I think a company is exercising focus a lot, that how, number is obviously the outcome, but we are trying to see that even if there could be chance that further, we have heard that the new tie-ups are being made by the company. So there is a likely possibility we may have to go for another expansion soon. So I think the numbers will follow the expansion.
Okay. And my last question is, there is an opportunity in domestic market in kitchen sink, considering one of the brand has split up in two ways, the Nirali brand. How do you see that opportunity for us, and is there an opportunity whereby we can really accelerate our growth in sinks? And it was quite surprising that a lot of the categories in the building space in India in FY21 did grow. But for us, when you look at the domestic business, it's declined by about 15 to 17%. So, some comments there as to why if there was any challenge for us, and how do you see the build up on the domestic business, within that, the kitchen sinks for us?
So I think it's a good question. Let me just answer this. See, overall demand of the granite sinks that said in my last investors call there has been a huge demand, and the market share of quartz sink increasing into the stainless steel sink. I think that's not just across in America, Europe, or but across the world. That includes India also. Unfortunately, what has happened is because of this production capacity restraint, we were unable to supply approximately 30% of our orders in India on a month-on-month basis. So I think we have and also in exports too. So I think that has kind of that has not been able to improve the domestic performance. If we had the production capacity, we would have been able to have a better number. So that's one. Number two, on the stainless steel sink side, I would not comment on what is going with our competitors, but yes, we have seen the demand of the stainless steel sinks in India going up. We have been working quite aggressively. We have been getting a good response. And thirdly, on the stainless steel sinks, we have tied up with Grohe. We have tied up with some other export customers. So there will be an expansion of the stainless steel plant also. So I think all in all, including the export, domestic, and the granite and the stainless steel sink, I think we are looking at a good momentum in sales for the year.
Okay. Thank you very much, and all the best to you, sir. Thank you very much, and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Varun Arora from Great Eastern Shipping Single Family Office. Please go ahead.
Hi. Thanks for the opportunity and congratulations on good numbers. My first question is related to the COVID situation. If you can talk about the COVID situation in Bhavnagar, how has that impacted the local labor in any manner? And also, there was a cyclone. If you can talk about any challenges that we might be facing right now.
Yeah, so there are some short-term challenges which we are facing currently, and we have been experiencing absenteeism because of the COVID situation. Fortunately, the COVID situation in Bhavnagar has improved dramatically from what I heard from my operations team. The people are coming back to work. The early absenteeism used to be about 20%. Now it's dropped to 10%. So we assume by next month everything should be online. That's one. And number two is on the cyclone. Yes, fortunately we were saved, but there was not much damage which has happened to the company. There are some sheds which has been torn apart and some small damages here and there, but nothing major, and which is going to disrupt our expansion of our production. So we should be absolutely in line with our capacities.
Sure. Second question is related to the international geographic mix. If you can give an idea as to how that is shaping up, and also some color as to, because there was lockdown in some of the countries like UK. There was lockdown, so last year was kind of slow down in the UK market, but things have been opening up. So if you can give some color as to how your key markets are opening up, maybe some idea about the March exit That will be helpful.
See, the one thing is, nothing has changed much. The Western countries are more matured in terms of the granite kitchen sink. So about 60% of the revenue comes from America and Europe, and it well comes from Asia and other countries. But overall, there has not been a localized demand we have experienced just from United States, Europe, UK. There has been an overall demand even from India, Asia, everywhere. For the granite sinks. That's one. Number two, the pandemic situation. Yes, there have been lockdowns, but fortunately, lockdowns has worked good for our company. Like I'm right now in America, and I've been visiting all my clients here because we have just got our deal with Menards. So I went to see the Menards stores across America. We are putting display saying. You can see unbelievable line of people. There's been crowd to buy home improvement products here. So home improvement has taken a big lead in sales here. The dynamics of the working, as say, the more hybrid working culture has stepped in. I think not in America, I think also in India, people are working more from home. The work from home culture is considerably high. I went to my client's office. Last time there were 200 people in the office. This time there were 4 people in the office, and yet the revenue increased by 50%. So there's been a big change, and because of that, there has been a more of ordering of the home improvement products, especially our kitchen sinks. And second, in order to overcome this challenge of the lockdown, there has been more online ordering system. The UK experience, coming back to a UK question, approximately 30% of our revenue of the kitchen sinks came by ordering online of our kitchen sinks.
Right. Okay, that's helpful. Thanks a lot. I'll get back in the queue.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, in order to ensure that the management is able to address questions from all participants in the conference, please limit your questions to 2 per participant. Should you have a follow-up question, we would request you to rejoin the question queue. The next question is from the line of Sanjay Shah from KSA Securities. Please go ahead.
Good evening, gentlemen. Chirag bhai, hope all you are doing well. And congratulations on good set of numbers. And even congratulating on the new tie-ups with Grohe and US store. Chirag bhai, my question was regarding when we see your presentation and when we understand that we have been pushing our sales domestic market, and even we have grown from 95% export to today 79% export. So domestic market has grown, but we see a pie of products where we see that even steel sink is not growing, and our quartz business is growing. So is there any change in the customer demand in India which is shifting from steel to quartz, or you see that growth coming in future? And even in export market, how do you see the trend in quartz sink and steel sinks?
Very good question, Kamlesh. Right. So answering your first question, yes, there is no doubt that the granite sinks are the future, which is not even consisting. It is approximately less than 10% of the global kitchen sink business. So we have a long way, a long road, a long highway yet to come. Good times. I'm sure it's going to come for our granite kitchen sinks because there are only about 4 to 5 companies in the world who produces granite kitchen sinks. We got 2 situations here. One is the pandemics, which has helped I don't want to repeat again, but the work from home culture. And second is the share the granite sink consistently increasing. We have seen that in our kitchen worktops, people are using granite or quartz. Nobody uses stainless steel. It's the same way the granite sink, the quartz sinks has come also in kitchen sink. Nobody wants to use the stainless steel sinks. Preferably now, I would not say nobody wants to use it. Preferably now the quartz sinks are coming into play. So I think that's one. On the domestic side, especially on the stainless steel sinks, yes, there is, like I said, the quartz sinks are coming up. So the focus on stainless is not there. But due to some circumstances in India, which is favoring us on competition side, there has been a big demand coming for us on the stainless steel kitchen sink side. The company is investing to double the capacity in stainless steel sinks, both on account of export and in for the Indian market. The company is also expanding in terms of R&D, which we are producing more high-end stainless steel kitchen sinks to add better value addition gross margins to the company. So we are actually working in a space where nobody else, nobody else manufactures products like us. And then the designer thing what we manufacture, there is probably Acrosil, I think, I have quote unquote, but I think it's probably Acrosil only company which is manufacturing this. So yes, there have been favorable demands, and on second side on stainless steel, the new tie-up with export also is going to give a boost to the stainless steel thing. So I think overall we are looking at also the stainless steel side to to perform well in the current year and future years. Again, also we are sorry to mention, we also put up the PVD plant, physical vapor deposition plant, for manufacturing innovative rose gold, yellow gold sinks for high-end markets. Thank you.
Yes, sir. My second question was regarding our, it's while we have been launching this and promoting our Sternhagen brand. Can you highlight upon it how it is doing and what are the future strategy on that side?
Yeah. So Sternhagen brand is, I think as a brand we have achieved as probably the top 5 brands in India as far as the luxury brand is concerned. Unfortunately, the pandemic, which are the top highest selling points of our Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, is in a severe lockdown. So we are struggling there with the sales. But our momentum is not going to stop. We are right now currently focusing on our granite sink and on the stainless steel kitchen sink side. Knowingly, we've not been able to do much focus on but our program to escalate the Sternhagen ceramic sales is already, the program is running. We are adding a lot of new quartz models in the Sternhagen side. We are tied up with export customers also on the Sternhagen side. We have tied up with Suzanne Khan, which will be the famous designer, the ex-wife of Hrithik Roshan. She is willing to partner with us on launching a new line, which is not a very luxury line, but a premium line between 10 to 20,000 rupees. So we plan to launch this at the pre-Diwali this year, and I believe that time the COVID situation will be much easier in India. So we are soft paddling, but does not mean we are sleeping on this on this Sternhagen category, and we are quite optimistic as far as Sternhagen is concerned for the future.
Thank you, Mr. Shah. May we request that you return to the question queue for follow-up questions. Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ayush Agarwal from Mittal Analytics. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir, and congratulations on a great set of numbers. So my first question is, can you please elaborate more on the new American partnership that we have? What kind of products will we be supplying to them, and when can we expect this starting?
Yeah. So I think one thing is good that we need to answer the questions of the U.S. market is good when you're in America. So I've been actually traveling around a lot to see clients and what's happening. So I think America is here one of the most potential markets moving forward, and I think everybody would agree on the potential what America has as a country for the exports. It's always the large volume. Menards is the third largest retail chain after Home Depot, Lowe's in America, approximately $10 billion revenue. It is 850 stores, mostly in Midwest of United States. We have about 4 SKUs right now. They're planning to increase it to 18 SKUs within a very short period of time. It will be one of the top-selling granite sinks inside the stores. So we on whatever the information what we have, I think they should pick up at least 50,000 sinks to start with for the year. which would be a total revenue of about 25 crores a year just from a single customer. We have another two customers, which are major customers, Karan and Kraus. And we have MSI, which is the largest quartz slab importer in United States, run by a Gujarati company. They, I think, import about 30,000 containers of quartz slabs into United States. So even we have started supplying to them. So overall, the situation in America, I think we are expanding quite well. As you know, we have opened up an American office too, and we soon will be able to expand our operation in the US to have a much more closer, much more to have to gain ground in the American market.
All right, that's good to know. And I mean, we can already see data on US home building and home builders consumption that has skyrocketed in the US. So it is a good time for us to be there.
Yes.
Definitely. And so my second question is, as far as I can remember from our last con call, I had asked this question that how much granite zinc can we house in the current infrastructure that we have, and you had mentioned somewhere around 8 to 10 lakh sinks. But we also had mentioned that this year in the capex that we see, it is pretty high in number, and the reason for that is because we had bought some land. So, what are our plans after this June, expansion is over in the granite zinc area? Because if we have already bought land, then I'm sure, we would not be able to build an infrastructure as easy as we did for the last 2 lakh capacity. So, what are our plans going ahead for the expansion of capacity in the granite zinc segment?
Yes, so yes, I think you're right. I did say we have land. We had acquired land. We can go to capacity to 1 million zinc. So as we are talking, I'm in talks with my team, especially my marketing sales team, moving forward, and also looking at closely the pandemic situation. But in all likelihood, it seems that the company, looking at the recent tie-ups, may have to likely go for another round of expansion. We don't know what level. I think at the appropriate time we will let you know. But it's quite likely that company will have to go for another round of expansion to ramp up capacity to cater demand for both domestic and in the international market.
Thank you, Mr. Agarwal. May we request that you return to the question queue for follow-up questions. Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aditya Jadhav from Sidbi Venture Capital. Please go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Chirag, and thanks for the opportunity and congratulations for the great set of numbers. My first question is regarding a domestic sale. I could see that our dealer network and distributor network for the last 2-3 years has been stagnant at 1,500 dealers and 82 distributors. Is it the stagnation reason for our almost flat revenue in domestic market?
So there are two sides of the story here. One is that the company does not have, like I've been saying again and again, we do not.
No, I heard that. I'm just asking apart from that.
No, that's what I'm saying. So because of that, we are kind of soft pedaling to penetrate our sinks in the domestic market. That's one. There is no point of market expansion where you cannot supply the granite sinks on time to the customers. So which is quite sad. And the second side of the story is, if you remember in my last talk, that company is doing a lot of activity on brand building and expanding the showroom size. So any of the category of the C category dealers, we are improving to category B, and B category we are improving to category A. Now, what does it mean? It means that the C category of a dealer is more of a prototype display where you have one sink or a couple of sinks. Then the B category has about at least 10 models of sinks, both granite and steel, and they have few built-in appliances. And category A, which is approximately 500 to 1,000 square feet of a display showroom, which is a standalone showroom of Carricel as a franchisee model. So
Right.
we've been actually working more on a branding display, then trying to, try to create more numbers in India. That's our dealers. So we are upgrading our dealer.
Okay. So my second question is regarding a IKEA partnership. Can you help us understand, okay, any kind of feelers that you're getting from IKEA about, kind of growth that you foresee from IKEA, and what kind of capacity that you will have to add to cater to that demand?
So we have, I think, we have started the supplies. We have started the second model to it, got approval. Second model is going to start. So they're just waiting for a few months because right now our capacity is full. IKEA is very happy with our quality. That's a very good sign. The sinks have been supplied, so they need little bit time to assess our quality, our delivery on time, situations and all. And then based on that, like I said earlier, there is a large opportunity lying with IKEA moving forward. Now, how large that can be, I think we definitely think it's going to be large, but how large even I'm not aware. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be quite large.
Thank you. Mr. Jadhav, may we request that you return to the question queue for follow-up questions. Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rohan Gupta from Edelweiss. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Sir, couple of questions, sir. Sir, first is on your EBITDA margin, which is mainly led by almost 400 basis point gross margin expansion, and now we have roughly 23% EBITDA margin. Sir, can you explain a little bit? Is it driven by better product mix of higher realization of the sink, or is it basically just some raw material cost advantage which we had in the current year, sir?
No, it's where the last time the question had come, I had explained that this is a reasonable, good product mix and a better price realization.
Okay. Sir, if I look at your revenue and the kind of numbers which you have, it seems that your average realization for the sink is roughly only 5,000 per unit. That may convert roughly as low as $70 to $80 per unit. So there is a huge scope in terms of change in the product mix, or on the premium line, or a large part of the business which we do export is a low end of the product or a low value product, sir.
So the company is continually focusing on coming up more innovative products. So if you remember, I remember if you take Acrosel 10 years back or 20 years back. 20 years back, I do remember the average price of the kitchen sink was 3,000 rupees. 10 years back, it was 4,000 rupees. Currently, we are at approximately 5,000 to 5,500 rupees. Just 5 years back, it was 4,500 rupees. So I think we've been consistently able to increase the per sink price realization, which is I think a very good sign. And we have a consistent efforts to improve that.
Okay. Sir, just a second question, if I am allowed to ask, otherwise I can get back in queue. Sir, you have just added a capacity of lakh unit in month of Feb, and going to add 1 lakh further by June. Participants also asked that no additional 2 lakh units available for FY20 in the rest of the year. Can we have a higher volume growth? Can we have a 30-40% kind of volume growth, because we have additional capacities available? So just wanted to know on that front, that is there a scope for us to do strong volume growth in the current environment?
So we don't have additional capacities, but we have in terms of land. We don't have in terms of the infrastructure. So the plant, we don't have another 2 lakhs in capacity available. So company will have to put up additional capacities.
Sir, I think he's asking the additional this volume from 5 lakh to 7 lakhs, and how we're going to additional 40%, whether we'll able to dispatch and produce.
Exactly, which we have already added.
Added, yeah. So So I think about 5 lakhs. I think last year we did 400,000 sinks. I think the 400,000 sinks, and if we able to do 700,000 sinks, I think there is already a 30-40% growth.
So is that kind of growth one can expect, sir, from this year revenue growth? Because last year your revenue growth was hardly 50%.
So last year, let's talk about how was the quarter four compared to last year. So yes, comparing.
Rohan, to answer your question, the capacity is getting added in the quarter two, and
yes,
we have 100,000 additional capacity available from March, and other capacity is coming from June or July. So yes, there is a capacity addition we are doing, and we are seeing good demand. So we will definitely catch up the demand with the capacity available. That's how we see it.
That answers, sir. That answers my question. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Puresha Mehta from GreenEdge Wealth Services. Please go ahead.
Hi. Thanks for the opportunity. And congrats for a very good set of numbers in the tough environment. My first question again is going back to our bath fitting portfolio, which is the Sternhagen brand. So this brand has essentially been struggling even before the pandemic year, right? So what really has been the pain point here? Is it the high price point, the positioning of it being a luxury product? Is it our sales and marketing, or is it that we've not really channelized our energy towards leveraging this brand? And also, last year, despite it being a pandemic year in India, the home improvement space had gained a lot of momentum. So in that context, in the last 1 year, has the brand done better than the previous years? And what are our revenues from this particular brand in FY21? That's my first question.
No, so I think the first, in my last call also I said, as far as Sternhagen is concerned, that our focus has always been on building a brand, not on the revenue side. So we've been able to manage to get, because of the high price points, high innovative products, which one of a kind product which nobody has in the world, and the price points are really very high for the Indian market. So looking at that, yes. It also took a lot of time for us to get the displays done, to get the showroom attention, consumer attention. So a lot has taken that time. It's about few years. Finally, we have about 65 dealers across India doing it. And just when it was about to begin to pick up, at that time, the pandemic happened. Point number two, yes, we have not actually put our energy to channelizing operations across India. We've not done much marketing focus to trying to promote this brand due to various circumstances. But it is on our radar, and I think, moving forward, the home improvement bit, I think is going to bounce back very fast once this pandemic situation over. And we see once this gets over, Suzanne Khan line coming in, and she promoting with the builders, architects. I think this will take the brand to the next level very soon.
Okay. And the second question is on the working capital. So is there any scope to reduce our inventory and debtor going forward? And if yes, then what probably could be the quantum of that reduction?
So I'll just ask Anand to do, and Anand has the numbers, ratios too, and I think we have already made a significant improvement, but I will leave it up to him to say.
Yes.
Yeah, Anand. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So to answer your question, we have already taken steps to reduce our working capital cycle, and if you can see from our result, which is we are given, there's a balance sheet also, we have reduced on the inventory side. So inventory, which was around 72 days, that's come down to below 60 days. So there's already reduction in the inventory side. Now coming to the debtors, yes, we wanted to focus on the reduction of debtors, but there is we have customer who have long standing with us. We don't want to put too much pressure, because then it will affect the volume. And in the Indian market, you can see the pandemic is playing all the havoc. So we wanted to take the action, but we wanted to have a calibrated action which should not affect our business growth.
Thank you. Ms. Mehta, may we request that you return to the question queue for follow-up questions? Thank you. The next question is from the line of Anand Jain, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the great set of numbers. Congratulations on that. My first question is that we added 1 lakh capacity in the month of March. Are we fully utilized there?
Yes. Yes, we have started fully utilizing that. Yes.
Great. Now, my second question is on future expansions. We are coming up with another 100,000 in June. Now, do you think that future expansion should be of much larger quantities? Because, we will be at 7 lakhs, and then, with these kind of tie-ups that we are having, like for example, which we have announced, like Menards, and then, the other, the Gujarati MSI, I think that's what you mentioned. So do you think that we should be coming up with much larger capacity expansions after June?
So I actually honestly believe that I think the next expansion could be of a larger magnitude, because in this, looking at the pent-up demand, we cannot go on 100,000. I think it's eating away a lot of time. So we need to have little bit more aggressive in increasing the capacity. So yes, you are right. I think that is something we are currently thinking on.
Great. Last question, there was a question on Sternhagen. I just want to understand how much money are we losing in Sternhagen, and when do we expect it to break even?
So Anand has a number, but I think approximately about 50 to 60 lakhs a year, Anand. How much on Sternhagen side?
Yeah, so is it less than 80 lakhs we are losing? It's not a much amount, because once this turnover, what we are expecting coming in, we should able to break even smoothly.
So okay, so this is 80 lakhs a quarter, right?
No, yearly.
Oh,
for the year.
Yearly. Yeah. So, and final question is, we have kind of gotten into Menards. What about Home Depot and Lowe's?
Well, I
talking to them.
I think we are quite. No, so I think one thing good, we have already started Home Depot, Lowe's on the online sales program with them. We have not gone into a stocking program with them, because we cannot knock on their doors, looking at the current constraint in their capacity. So at the appropriate time, we'll definitely do that.
So we are online. We are selling online as of now on their site.
Yes. Yeah. We are online with Lowe's and Home Depot.
And with our brand, Acrosil brand. I mean, with our brand or with their brand?
No, with our with their brand and our partner's brand.
Okay, good. Thanks for the answers, and all the best.
Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Suraj Deora from Paladin Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, just a continuation on this US subject. If I remember correctly, you only formed the US subsidiary in FY20. Is that right? And can I assume that your US sales only started in FY20?
No, US has been there for last 10 years. We just opened up the office because we wanted some more focus on the US market.
Okay, and what percentage of your overall sales is coming from the US today?
I think approximately about 30 to 35% right now, which I think is expected to go to 40%.
Okay.
40 maybe, so future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And MSI, you said you're working with them for sinks or for quartz slabs?
Sinks.
For sinks. Okay. And last question is that when you're planning your next round of capex, sounds like you will require to do a larger program. Any thoughts on how you plan to fund that, and will you need to dilute?
Sorry, I could not hear your last sentence.
Yeah, I'll just repeat. You are planning a larger round of capital expenditure going forward. Your expansion is going to be larger than your 1 lakh units. Will you need to raise equity for that?
I don't think so at this point. So we are still contemplating as we are talking on what sort of capacity we need to build. So once we get that sorted out, we'll have exact number on capital expenditure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rajil Shah from Manashwi Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, thanks for the opportunity. I just have one question. It's basically, so how is the fixed and variable expenditure in our other expenses looking? And because given that the scale would be improving, what kind of operating margins can we expect going forward? Because I mean, if the operating leverage, can we see like blended margins of say 24 to 25% on yearly basis? And the other question is slightly on the continuation of the US partnership. So you said that around 50,000 units will be you'll be supplying to the client going ahead. And is there scope for further capacity expansion to serve that specific client, or like the whole export and the domestic clientele as well?
So I'll just answer this second question, and Anand will answer the first. But
okay.
Like I already said, that we are already looking at we would be likely, I think very likely we have to do a thought of expansion in our company. So at an appropriate time, we'll let you know what we do. And coming to the margin side, Anand will answer. But before Anand replies to your question, one thing is we have to understand the supply chain across the world has been, it's been quite challenging for any company at this point of time. So, I think we are fortunate that we are able to pass on a lot of price increase to the customers, and we have more higher price value addition products. But I think in future the cost will always supply, like the freight has increased by 40%. But fortunately we're able to. So yeah, Anand, I would like you to
yes, sir.
Okay. So comment further on this, but these are my take on this.
Yeah. So on the other expenditure side, it's around 85% is the variable cost, which includes manufacturing cost and selling overheads.
Okay.
Only 15% are the fixed costs, which includes our office expenses, rent, and repairs to building, machinery, insurance, etc. So maximum 85% is the variable cost, which is vary with the sales and production level.
Right.
The question which is coming because of the increase in the other expenses in the quarter 4 vis-a-vis to quarter 3, as I said earlier, this is mainly because of the export freight cost increase substantially in quarter 4, which is 40%, 45% higher than the quarter 3. Otherwise, all the costs are within the parameter we set.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ronak Vora from AUM Advisors. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Congratulations on a good set of numbers. It's a fantastic job that is being done. I have two questions. First one being, can you share the volume details for quartz and stainless steel zinc for the year?
Yes. So I will provide you. In the current financial year, we have sold quartz zinc, which is 4,13,476 to be precise. Against last year, 386,751. The volume growth is 7%. Value growth is 19%. On the steel zinc side, we have sold 68,852 zinc against last year 66,331 zinc. Volume growth is 4% and the value growth is 10%.
Okay, sir. Sir, and just one clarification. You said Menard, right? For US, the new tire?
Menard, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sir, and in the near term, say next year, any kind of margin guidance that you can give? Hello?
Sir?
Ladies and gentlemen, the line for Mr. Chirag Parekh has got disconnected. Please hold while we reconnect him. Thank you.
Can I answer this question?
Sure, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. So on the margin side, as I said, we are stabilized margin around 20-23%. And looking at the volumes and the growth perspective, and we have a very tight cost control, we think we should be able to maintain our current trajectory of 22% kind of margins.
Then, say by in FY22, we can do a minimum of 6 lakh things for quads?
See, looking at the current pandemic scenario, it is difficult for us to predict for the whole financial year. But yes, we are geared up with the facility. We faced a lot of capacity issues in the last financial year, which we are solving, and we hope that things will stabilize.
Thank you, Mr. Vora. Mr. Vora, may we request that you return to the question queue for follow-up questions?
Please connect to Mr. Parekh.
Sure, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please hold the line while we reconnect Mr. Chirag Parekh. Thank you.